We have, like in this particular case, you have your sound booth, and so these are the kind of places that we can typically see other fire concerns, particularly when it comes to electrical things. A lot of times we don't have enough outlets to plug everything in that we want to plug in, and so we start to resort to power strips and extension cords and things like that. And the fire code is very clear on those items that if you're using an extension cord, those are for temporary use only, no more than 90 days. And then we also have to make sure that we don't overload the extension cords. So we're using the appropriate size for a temporary application, and that we're using the appropriate length, that type of thing. You also want to make sure that in the event that you do utilize a power strip, that it is UL listed and that it is a surge protector type, so that it can help protect in case there's a short circuit on an appliance plugged into it, that it will hopefully help to stop the fire, the fire danger from that and keep it from going any further. Here I don't see any issues today. This all looks really good. You've got one power strip here on the countertop, using it to power low voltage and low amperage equipment, so we're very good there. Anytime you are dealing with high amperage stuff, appliances like refrigerators and microwaves, stuff like that, we don't ever want to plug those into power strips. We don't want to plug those into extension cords. Those should always go to a wall outlet that's rated to carry that type of appliance. All right, so another thing we want to look at on our inspections is your electrical panels and access to those. Occasionally you'll find those inside of a closet or room. If that's the case, then we do want to see that the door to that closet or room is labeled electrical. And so we know that we can go there to find our electrical panels. That does good things for us as well as you as an occupant. It allows my crews, when they arrive on an emergency scene, to know where to go to access those panels if they need to shut down any particular circuits, as well as for you. If you have an electrical fire in your building, step one is to de-energize whatever that equipment is, whether you can unplug it from the wall, or if you're not able to access that, to be able to go directly to your breaker panels and to be able to shut down the circuits that supply that equipment. A lot of times, if it's strictly an electrical fire, that's all it takes to put that fire out. You de-energize it and it stops. If it continues to burn, then that's a really good opportunity to grab one of your extinguishers if you feel comfortable doing so, and then using that extinguisher to extinguish the fire then. So we're just going to take a look here. In your particular case, your electrical panels are out in the open and exposed, so we don't have to label any particular room, but we want to see that your panels are labeled. So here we have a main panel, which is your master power coming in, and it's feeding all of these sub panels that control different portions of your building. So for example, we're going to look here at panel A. And one of the things that we want to see when we open up your panels is that you've got all your breakers in place, that we don't have any missing breakers and things like that. If you do have a missing breaker, then there are little blanks that you would install there to fill those gaps. And that's just to keep anybody from having any danger of getting electrocuted or damages where something might fall inside the panel causing a short. The other thing that's really important to us is actually taking a look at the schedule for that panel to see that all of our breakers are labeled out. In this particular case here, every breaker here does have a corresponding label on the panel, and including a lot of spare breakers, things like that for future advancement. And then any updates are taking place. So an example here, this particular circuit was originally, number 16 was originally a spare, and you've gone back and you've added your blue light equipment, and so you've labeled that to let us know that, okay, now that is no longer a spare, it does this. One of the things that we do want to address here in this particular case is breaker number 19, which is actually what controls your fire alarm bell. So anytime we have our fire alarm system in the building, we also want to make sure that we have a tamper lockout device added to that circuit breaker so that somebody can't inadvertently turn the power off to your fire alarm system. And so we would come here and we know that this is number 19. We're going to look down the panel and here's number 19. And we notice this is just a standard breaker. There's no lockout device, nothing on that. So that's something we would want to see addressed, is the proper fire alarm lockout kit installed that would actually keep somebody from being able to turn that breaker off. However, it will still allow the breaker to function. If there was a short circuit in the system, the breaker will still trip out and do like it's supposed to, but it keeps somebody from accidentally disabling it. With that kit would also be a red label that would go on the top of the panel on the outside to let our guys immediately know, okay, out of all these panels, here's the one that's got the fire alarm breaker in it, so that you can quickly access that if we need to shut it down for any reason. Okay, so overall it looks like our inspection went pretty well. We did identify a few minor things to address that we can take care of, in the coming weeks to get you fully in compliance with life and safety. And so what I'm going to do now is I'll go ahead and key in an inspection report in our system, and then I will get updated contact information from you. The contact information does a couple of things for us. It allows us, number one, to be able to send you this report and any correspondence we need in regards to making these corrections. But it's also there as a resource in case of emergency. It allows us to know who y'all want us to call in case of emergency to get access to the building, whether it be you or if you've got an assistant manager or a maintenance person that you want us to be able to reach out to, we can add all those people in the system. The system here works for us in the fire department as well as it is linked to our dispatch, so that even if the police department needs access and they can't reach somebody, they can access our system as well to get that same contact list so we can get somebody up here. So you'll see an email come from us at the conclusion of your inspection. It'll have that list and any violations need to be corrected. On those violation items, there will be a due date on those. We typically default to 18 days. That just coincides with our schedules and the way that we work so that we can follow up with you in a timely time manner to make sure that we get those corrections done. Any invoicings will come to those emails as well later on. Do you have any additional questions that I can answer for you today?
No, sir. You've answered a lot today. Thank you.
All right, very good. If you need anything at all, our contact information will also be included on the inspection report, and you're welcome to reach out to our office, ask any questions, and we'd be glad to work with you to get these things resolved and then go from there. We look forward to seeing you again.
All right. Thank you, sir. Have a great
Yes,
day.
Thank you. The one thing I do want to point out to everybody is that not every business meets the same requirements in regards to fire and life safety codes. So some things that you may have seen in our video series now that we've called out in a facility like a theater or restaurant may not apply to a small antique shop, for example, or a smaller restaurant. The general things that apply pretty well everywhere is your address numbering, access to the buildings, keys, things like that. And then fire extinguishers are required in all occupancies, no smoking signs, exit signage is required in the vast majority of occupancies unless it's a very small business with only one door in and out of the building, then sometimes those are not required there. But outside of that, most everything else will be pretty well across the board with the exception of things like the fire sprinklers and alarms and things like that.